pain, grief, anger. This is what war brings, regardless of who is winning, which proves the saying there are no winners in war. But amid the loss of life and panic across the world, one sector is laughing all the way to the bank. It's the defense sector, particularly that of the US. Recent global events, including the Russia Ukraine war and conflict in regions like Afghanistan, Iran, Sudan, and various Middle Eastern countries, have put American weapon manufacturing companies in the spotlight. Notably, the New York Stock Exchange saw a big rise in the stocks of American defense firms following the conflict between Israel and Hamas. The top 5 arms manufacturing companies globally are based in the United States. Lockheed Martin, which is among the sector leaders, saw an over 12% hike in its stock price from October 6 to October 26. The company makes the famous F-35 fighter jets that are used by Israel. Next on the list is Northrop Grumman, which saw an almost 15% increase in its stock price during the period. This is the company's largest increase in more than 3 years. Northrop Grumman manufactures the combat vehicle used by Israel. Raytheon Technologies produces most of the missile components for the Iron Dome system of Israel. This company's stock price rose by 4.8% from October 6 to October 23. Among the other US companies that saw a surge in their stocks is AeroVironment by 12%, Kratos Defense saw an increase of almost 14%, L3 Harris saw an 8% rise, with the majority of its gains occurring on October 9, nearly 2 days after the first attack by Hamas on Israel. General Dynamics experienced its most substantial gain on October 9, approaching a 10% increase. Geopolitical conflicts make even well-armed nations compelled to invest in the latest equipment to maintain their competitive edge. This usually drives up the stock prices of arms manufacturers. In February 2022, the initial market response to the start of the Ukraine conflict was also similar. Stocks in the aerospace and defense group collectively surged about 7.7% in the first 2 weeks after the Russian invasion of Ukraine on Feb 24, 2022. The group had climbed 12.3% by late March 2022. It then retreated nearly 20% to mid-June on macroeconomic pressures. The US Congress approved $113 billion in aid to Ukraine in 2022. The Hamas war could also drive up Israel's defense investments. The US signed an agreement with Israel in 2016, pledging $38 billion in military aid over the next decade. Of that funding, Israel has to spend $1.2 billion per year on advanced US military equipment. Little wonder the defense sector on the NYSE is roaring. For the United States, which generates $100 to $200 billion in arms sales annually, the economic significance of this industry remains undeniable. While warring nations and their civilians often bear the brunt of these geopolitical tensions, US defense companies have little to complain about. Subscribe to the Federal's YouTube page for more news and updates.